NASCAR's new in-season tournament has round 1 taking place this weekend at Atlanta. In this video, we're going to go over all 16 brackets, look at statistics from the track of Atlanta, and talk about who we think is going to win each bracket. Plus, if you stick around, there's a little bit extra at the end. First seed, Denny Hamlin versus 32nd seed, Ty Dillon. Hamlin with the best finish between these two drivers, his 6th place versus Ty Dillon's 19th, also with a better average finish, 18.1 versus 27. Should be mentioned here, Ty Dillon has only ran 5 of the 7 races in Atlanta in the Gen 7 car. He has 1 finish of 30th or worse. Denny Hamlin has none. His worst finish is 29th, but he has 4 finishes in the 20s. But I'll say it now instead of saying it in all of these. This is Atlanta. There is a pack racing element that could have a random crash and take any of these guys out. That's going to make this whole thing unpredictable, but we're just going off of what we can based off performance this year and at this track. But looking at this, I think Denny Hamlin is going to move on from this bracket. Our second seed is Chase Briscoe, 31st seed is Noah Gragson. Neither of these guys have cracked the top 10, Chase Briscoe with the best finish of 15th, Noah Gragson 3 positions better in 12th, but Gragson has 6 finishes of 30th or worse in 7 starts, giving him a 31.4 average finish. Briscoe's is not that much better at 23.9, he himself has 2 finishes of 30th or worse. This one is more of a question of who's going to dodge the wreck and be running at the end. Again, neither of these guys inside of the top 10, so you're just looking for a solid run from either of these guys and staying out of trouble. Of course, Briscoe won last week. We'll see what kind of momentum that carries on for him into the first round here. Our third seed is Chris Buescher, 30th seed Todd Gilliland in the 34. Chris Buescher has the best highest finish, a 7th compared to a 15th for Todd Gilliland, but he does have a worse average finish by about 3 positions, Todd Gilliland averaging a 20.4. Todd has never finished below 30th in this one. Chris Buescher 4 times in the 30s, so Chris Buescher getting caught up in a lot of accidents here at Atlanta. Todd and FRM in general run pretty good at these pack racing style tracks, so I could see this one being a pretty big upset, but we'll have to see what happens this weekend. 4th seed, Christopher Bell. 29th seed, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Bell is our highest seeded driver who has won. He won here earlier this year in February. He has a 15.3 average finish and he has finished 30th or worse once. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got in the top 5 in Bell's win. Pretty similar average finish, just 1 position behind where Christopher Bell runs, and then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with 2 30th or below finishes. This is another one that I could see going either direction. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is a good pack racing driver, good at the drafting style tracks, so we'll have to see what happens here. Bell has never been very good at these styles of tracks, but he did win here earlier this year, so he has that going for him. This one should be a pretty good battle. 5th seed is Chase Elliott. 28th seed is Austin Dillon. Very good statistics for Chase Elliott here. He has a win in the first year of the Gen 7 car in 2022, a 10.5 average finish. I should mention he has only ran 6 of the 7 races. He missed one of the races in 2023 due to his snowboarding accident, but has never finished 30th or worse. Austin Dillon has done that twice. His best finish, not even in the top 15, with a 24.1 average finish, almost 15 positions behind Elliott. I think this is a pretty clear win for Chase Elliott this weekend. 6th seed, Ty Gibbs. 27th seed, Justin Haley. I was quite surprised to see Ty Gibbs seated this high. That just shows how good they've been running the last few weeks. But this is another case where I think we could see an upset. Justin Haley, the 27th seed, has a better best finish, 7th versus 9th, and 6 positions better in average finish, 14.9 to 20.4. Ty Gibbs has only ran 5 races here in the next gen car, 2 of those finishing in the 30s. So this is one that I think could really shake the bracket right up and get Justin Haley moving into the next round. 7th seed, Ryan Blaney. 26th seed, Carson Hocevar. Blaney has been an absolute monster at Atlanta in the pack racing era. A 2nd place is his best finish. He is in a 3-race top 5 streak and has a 6-race top 10 streak, going for a 6.7 average finish. His worst finish, 17th, the only time he's finished outside of the top 10 here. But when you look at Carson Hocevar, only 3 starts here and he has a 2nd place finish to match Blaney and a 12.3 average finish. Hocevar has been running very strong lately, very close to that first win. This is another one that I think could blow this bracket wide open. We could have a couple Spire cars moving on to round 2, which would be really cool. We'll have to see what happens in this one on Sunday. 8th seed is Alex Bowman. 25th seed, defending champion Joey Logano. Surprising to see Logano seated so low in this. He has 2 wins at Atlanta in 2023 and in 2024. This is another chance for an upset. 13.4 average finish is better than Alex Bowman's by about 7 positions. His is 20.0. Alex Bowman's best finish is in 5th, so he has made it in the top 5, but he does have a finish in the 30s. Joey Logano has none. Bowman also with a couple of 26th and 27ths. I think Joey Logano is going to knock Bowman out. He's been very good at Atlanta. We'll have to see what happens here. 9th seed, Bubba Wallace. 24th seed, Daniel Suarez. Suarez has been very strong here in the Gen 7 car. Of course, he won that thrilling finish with Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch a few years ago. 11.0 average finish, 1 finish below 30th. Bubba Wallace has made his way into the top 5. His best finish is a 5th. 17.4 average finish. He has no finishes below 30th. His worst finish is a 29th, so very close. Again, a lot of upsets can happen here. Suarez should give Wallace a good run for his money. 10th seed, Kyle Larson. 23rd seed, Tyler Reddick. It's kind of funny the way that this is structured, because this totally could have been like the final bracket, a Larson versus Reddick. I don't think anyone would have been surprised by that. They're facing each other in the first round, so a good team is going to get knocked out right away in this one. Kyle Larson with a best finish of 3rd, but he has a 26.0 average finish because he has 5 finishes in the 30s, so he either has that 3rd place or he's racking out of this one. Tyler Reddick, a best finish of 5th, but his average finish is also in the 20s at 20.6. Only 1 finish in the 30s, but he does have finishes of 27th, 28th, and 29th, so he's been floating around the bottom half of the field. As I mentioned, a top team is going to get knocked out in the first round, so we'll have to see who makes it out of this one and see how that affects their chances going forward. 11th seed, Michael McDowell. 22nd seed, AJ Allmendinger. This should honestly be a very good battle. These guys are both very good drafting plate style racers. Both of these guys have gotten into the top 10. Michael McDowell a best finish of 8th. AJ Allmendinger getting a 3rd place finish here in 2022. 11.0 average finish. Michael McDowell with a 15.3, but neither of these guys have finished below the 30s. I should mention Allmendinger has only made 3 starts here. His worst finish is 16th, so that kind of inflates his numbers a little bit, but this should be a good battle nonetheless. Interested to see who makes it out of this one. 12th seed, John Nemechek. 21st seed in the 21 car, Josh Berry. That shows how good this 42 car has been running in the last few weeks to be seeded as high as they are in 12th. This should be a pretty equal battle as well. John Nemechek getting into the top 10 here earlier this year. 21.3 average finish and 1 finish worse than 30th. Again, he's only been in 3 races, but Josh Berry has only been in 4 races here in the Gen 7 car, so pretty comparable data. Berry a best finish of 18th. 25.0 average finish. Looks like Nemechek should take this one on paper, but again, those Fords have been very strong at these drafting style tracks. We'll have to see what Josh Berry can put together. 13th seed, Ross Chastain. 20th seed, Eric Jones. Ross Chastain with a couple of second places here. He finished second in both races in 2022. An 11.4 average finish, but 3 finishes in the 30s. Eric Jones with the best finish of 4th, so both of these guys getting inside of the top 5. 17.0 average finish for Jones, so a little bit behind, but 2 less finishes in the 30s. He's only done that once. Should be a really good battle. I know Chastain is already locked into the playoffs, so we'll have to see if that affects the risk versus reward that he'll take at the end of the race. Who knows what happens here. Both Legacy Motor Club cars seated pretty high in this one. 14th seed, Zane Smith. 19th seed, Austin Cindric. Hard to call this one potential for an upset because the numbers are so close, 14th versus 19th. Cindric has been very strong at these plate racing tracks, especially Atlanta, a best finish of 3rd, 14.3 average finish, and 1 finish in the 30s. Zane Smith has only made 3 starts at Atlanta in the Gen 7 car. His best finish is an 11th, 22.3 average finish, with 1 finish in the 30s. You got to think the Penske car is going to prevail here. I know Cindric won a stage there earlier this season. We'll have to see how this shakes out. A couple Fords going at it. 15th seed, Ryan Preece. 18th seed, William Byron. Byron joins Logano as the other 2-time winner in the field. He has 2 wins here, 2022 and 2023, a 16.7 average finish, but he has 2 finishes in the 30s. Ryan Preece has none, though he has only made 5 starts here. His best finish here is a 16th with a 20.8 average finish. His worst finish is a 28th. Despite being the lower seed, I do think William Byron will win this battle. Should be pretty close though, those Fords have been good. I know Ryan Preece had a strong run at Talladega before getting DQ'd. We'll have to see what happens, but I still think Byron is going to have a good run here. 16th seed, Kyle Busch. 17th seed, Brad Keselowski. I think if you told someone a few years ago that NASCAR was going to do a bracket challenge and that Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski were going to be smack in the middle, they probably wouldn't believe you. That shows how far we've come in this Gen 7 car. Anyways, both of these guys with strong finishes here inside of the top 5. Kyle Busch with a third in that photo finish with Daniel Suarez, and Brad Keselowski finished second here in 2023. 12.1 average finish for Kyle Busch, 5 straight top 10s here at Atlanta, so he has been very good at this track recently. 1 finish of 30th or worse. Brad Keselowski has 2 of those with an 18.4 average finish. Look, both of these guys are in the position that they need to win a race to make the playoffs. I expect both of these guys to be pushing hard. I think of this as it's going to be a top 5 or a wreck for either of these guys. We'll see who comes out on top. Alright, that is all 32 drivers that are taking place in NASCAR's bracket tournament. But what about the 4 guys who aren't in it, right? We cover everyone on this channel. So what I have created is the other guys bracket, 33rd through 36th in points. It's only going to be 2 races. There will be a battle for the championship and then a 3rd place race next weekend. The first of the brackets, 33rd Shane Van Gisbergen versus 36th Cody Ware. Quite surprising that Shane Van Gisbergen is in this considering he won at Mexico, but the seeding was done before that win where he was below 32nd in points. Cody Ware has made 5 starts here, Shane Van Gisbergen 2. Very equal stats for these guys, both with a best finish of 23rd. Average finish, 27.5 for SVG, 27.8 for Cody Ware. Ware has an extra finish in the 30s, but honestly, this is a coin flip. This could go either way. These guys have had strong runs at these pack racing tracks, or they've been taken out in a wreck. We'll have to see what happens here, but the statistics are very similar, so it should be a good battle. The second of these brackets, 34 Cole Custer, and 35 the 35 of Riley Herbst. Cole Custer has made 4 starts in the next gen car at Atlanta with a best finish of 9th. The other 3 finishes in the 30s, giving him a 27.8 average finish. Riley Herbst has only made 1 start here, and it was a 17th place run back in February. Tough to say what happens here. I know Riley Herbst had a couple good runs at the pack racing drafting tracks last year when he was a part-time driver. Custer has a top 10 here. Should be a good battle to see who makes it to the championship race in this bracket. But wait, there's more. We're also going to do a bracket for the 4 uncharted cars. I'm not sure who's going to return next weekend, so it's just going to be a 1 race, winner takes all scenario. 4 drivers entered in this one: Corey LaJoie, JJ Yaley, David Starr, and Connor Zilich. 2 of the 4 drivers have made starts at Atlanta in the Gen 7 car. Corey LaJoie with a couple top 5s, 18.1 average finish, but 2 finishes in the 30s. JJ Yaley has made 4 starts here. Best finish of 7th, that was with Rick Ware Racing in 2023, but he has a 23.3 average finish thanks to a 37th place run here earlier this year. Both David Starr, Connor Zilich have never made starts here. It's tough to say what happens here. I think Zilich has the equipment. I think LaJoie has the experience. This should be a pretty good battle. I think LaJoie is either going to be mixing it up at the front or he's going to get taken out early. That'll probably determine how this goes. Might be a case of survival for Yaley and Starr if they just lose the draft and kind of watch everything else play out. But should be a pretty good battle between the 87 and the 01. I'm going to pick LaJoie winning this bracket. I plan on doing this for all the races in this tournament, following it all the way through, but I'm not sure what third statistic to use. I used finishes of 30th or above in this one because it's pretty easy to get into a wreck at these packed racing tracks. Not sure what to do for the road courses, so if you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.